Jeffrey Gamer is not responsible for your game files. All mods in this tutorial have been tested and work properly. I strongly advise you back up your files as shown in this video in case you make any mistakes. I also advise that you watch the full video before installing any mods. Thanks. Enjoy the tutorial. What is up, beautiful people? Welcome back to another episode of Jeffrey Gamer Tutorials. In this tutorial, I'm going to show you guys, we got four plugins that we are going to install into our game today. I will try to make this video as quick as possible. These are super simple plugins, but at the same time, they are must-have plugins, whether you're single player or 5M. I feel these plugins are huge, and mostly everybody has them, but if you don't, then this is the video you want to watch. We are going to be installing KTFDO, which is keep the effing doors open, sticky wheels, automatic siren cutout, and stop aiming at cops. And as we download them, I'll do a quick description of what they do. I mean, they're all pretty self-explanatory, but let's dive into it, guys. So down below, the first link you're going to want to click is the link that says KTFDO. Okay? And what that's going to do is that's going to bring you to this page right here. And it's keep the effing door open 0.1. And what this does is when you're on a high-speed chase and you pit the suspect and they're in the car with their hands up, you want to get out of your car. If you want your door to stay open, this plugin allows your door to stay open. Or code 5 stop allows your door to stay open so you have your cover as soon as you get out of your vehicle. I mean, it opens and closes the door normally. If you just tap your exit button, for most people, it is the Y button. I don't know what it is on the keyboard, to be honest, because I use my controller. But it's in the, I believe it's in the INI file. Or you hold down your Y button to leave the door open when you get out of the vehicle. And we'll go over that. So go ahead and click this download this file button right here. And agree and download. Most people download, I just take my downloads right here above my taskbar. So it'll pop up there in a second. Some people download them to a downloads folder or another folder or to your desktop. Wherever you're comfortable with downloading it to, totally up to you. Okay, so we have that one. So what we will do is we will open it right here. You don't have to open it, I do. You don't have to open it yet. I like to, because I get rid of that little by me WinRAR, and then just minus it out. Go ahead and click the next link that says sticky wheels, and what that's going to do is that is going to bring you to this page, sticky wheels 0.2.0.0 by Khorio. Oh, let me give proper shout outs to hold on one second, guys. Khorio as well. Khorio is also the creator of Keep the Effin' Doors Open. So thank you, Khorio, for your plugin and your knowledge and everything you contribute to LSPDFR. So sticky wheels, as we all know, police officers, when they pull somebody over, when you pull up behind a suspect, or sorry, they're not always suspects. When you pull up behind a subject, whoever you have pulled over, the police like to cut their wheels in real life, because what that does is if they're ever rear-ended by passerbys, which we know happens every day in America or all around the world, having the wheels turned will allow the car to get knocked out of the way of the officer and or any bystanders that the officer might have with them. So sticky wheels wouldn't really do that in Grand Theft Auto, but it just adds to the realism of the game. So that's what sticky wheels is. And go ahead and click that download this file. Again, agree and download. You got your warning, script modifications. And again, download it to wherever you like. I like to just have mine pop right up here to the above my taskbar, because I can quickly just open it right there, wait for the little thing to pop up telling me to buy WinRAR, and minus it out, and we'll come back to those later. Okay, go ahead and click the next link down below. That's going to be automatic Siren cutout. That's going to be automatic Siren cutout 2.6.0 by Rich. Thank you, Rich, for your creativity, and a mod which in my opinion is a definite must-have. This mod is a definite must-have. As you can see in big letters, he does not provide support for this plugin in the comments of this file. Usually they like you to go to their Discord. Yeah, so go to his Discord. And I mean, this is pretty self-explanatory as well. When you're on a chase and you get to a call, if you're like I was, I always forgot to turn off my siren. So as you're trying to question somebody, a perp, a witness, whatever, your siren's just blaring in the background. Well, this mod will shut your siren off as you exit your vehicle. So that's pretty cool. So go ahead and download that file. Hit that green button, agree and download. And usually when there's multiple files, whether an old one or a new one, you're going to click the one that says main file. Usually the creators put 2.4, it usually goes up. So if you see 2.4 and 2.6, so if these two purple boxes weren't here and you see 2.4 and then 2.6, you know 2.6 is the newer version. So go ahead and download that. Hope everybody's safe and healthy right now. If you're like me, you're spending a lot of time on your computer and LSPDFR and all that other good stuff. And we're going to do the same thing. We're going to open it, close that box, and just minimize that. Finally, hit that fourth link down below. Stop aiming at cops. And this is going to be version 2.0.0 by Vincentsgm or Vincentsgm. Thank you, Vincent, for your creativity and your contributions to all of our gameplay, man. This is also a great plugin. And what this plugin does is, we've all been there. We've all been there where there's multiple police officers, or if there's coroners, as you can see, it's up at the top. It says EMS, fire, coroner, police, and you go to aim at the suspect in your automatic aim if you have it turned on. Some people don't even have it on. But if you like to play with your auto aim on and you're tired of it aiming at the cops or people that you don't want to shoot, this is the plugin for you, as it will not automatically aim at those these people right here anymore. So that's pretty cool. Go ahead, hit that green download this file. Agree and download. Here we go. See here. Stop aiming at cops, zip. Then you got 1.0.1. Then you got 2.0. So you know this one's higher. Usually they're at the bottom, but I have seen people put the newer ones in the middle and the newer ones at the top. So all you got to do is just look at your files here, and the higher the number, the newer the version. So go ahead and click that bottom one, the 2.0.0. And again, same thing. Wait for your download to come. If it goes right to your desktop, then you don't have to worry about this step that I'm doing here. We're going to open it, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to close it out. Minimize it. So we are all set with our web browser, so you go ahead and minimize out of that. And all we are going to need for these plugins is your main directory. Now, if you don't know how to get to your main directory, all you want to do is, if you have the disk, if you run off of your disk, just go to the drive that you have your disk installed in, and just look for your Grand Theft Auto folder. Usually it's program files, common, GTA, and that's how you get to it. If you're a Steam user, I'll show you real quick. I have mine in my local disk C. Some people have it in D. Wherever you have it in, just click that. Then you're going to go to program files times 86, Steam. Steam apps, common. And then here's your Grand Theft Auto files, okay? And whatever else you have installed in here. Right now I have 3 copies. I've got the one that's got, you know, a bunch of mods in it, and then I have a clean version. Now, if I may make a suggestion right here, I strongly advise that if you only have one Grand Theft Auto file right here, before you put in any mods, whether it's from watching my video, anybody else's video, whether they're veterans or not, always back up your game. Because if you put a plugin in that doesn't correspond with your game, these plugins that we're going to be doing today, if they don't work well with your game, because we all know some plugins clash with other plugins, it might make a game crash, yada yada yada. These plugins are pretty easy to just take out. Once you put them in, you can just take them out and go right back to where you were. But there's other plugins or mods that you might put into your game that are going to be putting files into your radio folder. It's gonna convert vanilla files to modded files, and once you do that, you can't revert back unless you find an install file that has the vanilla copies of the radio dispatch, chatter, that is, anything that you might change in the maps. Those are very hard to revert back. So I always strongly advise, always keep a clean. This right here is a clean Grand Theft Auto folder. This is untouched, unmodded, nothing in it, okay? This is regular story mode, online, all that other good stuff. This one is after Coastal Callouts. I installed Coastal Callouts, which is a huge mod for your game. And I was reading mixed things on. Sometimes it causes my game to crash, blah, 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 blah. So I always made a copy before I did it. Now, to make a copy, you're going to go to your Grand Theft Auto 5, whichever one you want to copy, whether it's the normal one or whether it's one that you already have mods in. All you're going to do is left click it to highlight it, right click it, copy. You're going to go down here, left click, right click, and paste it. And what it's going to do is it's going to start copying that folder exactly how it is here. And it's going to put in, and it's going to say Grand Theft Auto 5-copy. And then you can rename it like I renamed mine, so I know that this was after Coastal Callouts. The one I'm currently playing now is before Coastal Callouts, and I know I got my clean version. And it usually takes about 20 to 30 minutes to copy a modded Grand Theft Auto 5 game. It doesn't take as long as it does when you download the game off of the disc or Steam. Okay? So, whatever game you want to put these mods into, go ahead and double click that. Oh, wait, one more thing. I'm sorry, one more thing, guys. One more thing. If you don't have your Grand Theft Auto pinned right here, okay, what you're going to do is you're going to right click this and you're going to pin it to quick access. Okay, see that right there? Pin to quick access. What it's going to do is it's going to take this file and throw it on over here. So the next time you want to put a mod in, once you bring up your file explorer, your Grand Theft Auto's right here. You just click it, it brings you in. Here's my modded Grand Theft Auto main directory. It's got all of my plugins, mods, ELS, everything is right here. And it's just on that quick link. That way you don't have to go through the local disk, the program, blah, 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 Steam apps, comment, blah, blah. You just click that, brings you right to it. Okay? So make sure you do that. Make a copy of your Grand Theft Auto folder. I am not responsible for if you guys do not follow this tutorial step by step and you put something in the wrong spot or anything. I'm not responsible for that. So always back up your game files, okay? I had to learn the hard way. I was watching somebody that explained it step by step, and I made a wrong move, and man, it destroyed my files. So I had to just delete everything because I didn't make up a backup copy of my game. So always back up your Grand Theft Auto main directory. This right here is your main directory. And please, I'm sorry if there's some semi-veterans on here that already know all this stuff, but there are people that are like we were, that are very new at this, and they don't know what this is. They don't know what a main directory is. They don't know to make copies. So I like to put that stuff out there so that nobody is ever in the same position I was in when I was first learning LSPDFR, okay? Okay, so go ahead and you're either going to click your WinRAR file or come down here if it's down here, and you're going to click the keep the effing doors open file. Okay? Now you could hit the readme text. The readme text will always tell you it's a plugin that stops the door from closing every time you leave your car. It'll tell you what the requirements are, the usage. This, however, does not have an install, but that's okay. Okay, I got you covered. It's a plugin. So what it's going to do is it's either going to be a plugins folder, or it's going to be a DLL file that's going to go in your plugins folder manually. So double click that Grand Theft Auto 5 folder that's inside of your keep the effing doors open WinRAR, and there it is. There's your plugins folder. Okay, now you could click that and then take this and then come over here, and you could click that and then take this and drag it over here. But best way to do it is once you double click that Grand Theft Auto and you see that plugins, you got plugins there, so you're good. Now, as stated before in my other tutorials, and thank you Criminal Justice, man. I got this from him, and the guy's a smart guy, man. When you're taking anything out of your WinRAR and you want to bring it over into your game, as long as none of these files are trying to grab this, don't let go yet, okay? See, I got mine dragged over, but I'm still holding my left mouse button. If I come up here while holding my button, do not let your button go up here, okay, guys? While I'm holding this button, you see how that highlights like that? That's bad. You don't want that, because if I let this go, I mean, I could do it into the plugins, but you never know if you're hitting it right or whatever, so don't put it up here. Do not put it down here in your Grand Theft Auto folders, okay? You do that, it's going to launch a game, it's going to mess everything up. Usually what I like to do is I like to drop them right around this ELS, this didn't put 8, or if you just hug this little buffer zone over here, see this? Now if I come over here, boom, it's going to want to pick it up, but if I come over here, it's not picking it up. So as long as you hang around this center part, you take that plugins folder and drop it there, you're good. So go ahead and take this plugins folder, slide it on over here to about right here, and drop it. And when you drop it, you're going to see your plugins folder up here. I'm going to replace it. I have all these installed, so I'm going to replace it just so I can show you guys, but it's not going to affect my game any. So I'm going to replace it, and boom, you see your plugins folder light up. It lights up. So real quick, let's double click the, well, you can go ahead and get rid of your WinRAR. Okay. Double click your plugins folder. And here's your keep the effing doors open.dll. There is no INI file for this one. So we will just leave it alone. We're all set with that one. So go ahead and hit your little refresh button. And you're going to want to go back to your main directory. You can either go back this way or, again, click that quick access button. Take you right back. And I like to, because this is still kind of highlighted, I like to just click over here so it unhighlights it for the next, install. Which you don't have to do. I just do it. Excuse me. So now I'll go down to your WinRAR again and go ahead and open up the Sticky Wheels WinRAR. Same thing, guys. It's got the README text. Again, it's by the same guys, so usually it's going to look the same way. It's going to tell you the requirements. It's going to tell you what it does. Turn the wheel left or right when stationary. But we'll go over all that stuff real quick, super duper quick in the game. So go ahead and X out of that. And same thing, guys. Double click that Grand Theft Auto folder. And there's your plugins. Okay, grab that plugins. Drag it on over here to about right here. Make sure none of these are highlighted up there. So bring it to about right here and let it go. And I will replace it again because I already have this installed. And it's in. So go ahead and get rid of that WinRAR. Double click plugins. And Sticky Wheels, as you can see, it has no INI. INI files are files that you can change. They usually have these little sprockets that are right next to it. Those are your INI files. Okay? So, go ahead and go down to your WinRAR. Go ahead and click Automatic Siren Cutout. As you can see, pretty much the same thing, guys. They all look the same. This one's by a different guy, so yep, he added the install, drag and drop the included GTA folder where GTA is installed, ensure controls, INI, blah, blah, blah. We'll go through all that, but you could read through it. So go ahead and X out of that, and you're going to double click your Grand Theft Auto folder. Now, this right here has an input manager.dll. Oh, I forgot to go to my main. Go back to your main directory, okay? Now, if you look down here, I have the input manager.dll. So, now that you're in your main directory, scroll down a little bit till you see your ELS or your anything that's right above the GTA 5. You just want to stay right around here, okay? And what you're going to want to do is you can either drag and highlight, or you can hold your control button and highlight them. But you want to grab both of these, bring them on over, and as you can see, nothing's highlighted in those files, and you're going to drop them. Now what this is going to do is this is going to put the input manager.dll, it's going to put it in your main directory. See, there's mine right there. And then it's going to put the plugins folder, which has the automatic Siren Cutout DLL and INI, into your plugins folder over here. So go ahead and X out of that and double click your plugins folder over here. And as you can see, automatic Siren Cutout, there's that little sprocket, has an INI. So you can go inside the INI file, and what the INI files do is it tells you, just read it. For a list of valid keyboards, you can go to this website. It shows you what the values are for the keys. D-pad up, D-pad down, D-pad left, D-pad right, start, back, left thumb, blah, blah, blah. This is all your controller. These are all your valid controller buttons. So if you want to change anything down here to any of these are the, without the commas. So just like left shoulder. Like controller horn is the left thumb by default. LSPDFR, Grand Theft Auto, your horn is your left thumb. If you wanted to change it to right shoulder, you would just write this, or you could copy it, highlight left thumb, right click it, and paste, like that, and it'll change it to left shoulder. Now, I like mine to be the left thumb because that's the way the game comes, so I'm just gonna take that right back to what it was. Must be bound to the same key that you use to manually yelp your siren. In other words, yelping your siren, if you're driving down and you change your sirens or you do the boop 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 noise, that's usually your B button. So usually I don't touch that, I don't mess with that, okay? These are features, enables and disables the automatic siren cutoff feature. Default is true, so obviously you want to keep this true because why would you put it as false if you downloaded this file? Friendly honk is pretty cool. You can put this to true if you want to drive by an emergency vehicle, and if you hit your horn, they honk back at you. Sometimes it's pretty cool. Traffic light control features where traffic lights will turn green for you when you are driving with stage 3 lighting on. AI is not affected by the color of the lights. It cuts your. I keep mine at false because A, this isn't realistic, and B, AI doesn't know. So even though their light's red, they might still think it's green, and they're just going to run the light, and it's just going to be a mess. This enables or disables a feature where AI will drive around your vehicle if you are stopped with stage 3 lighting on. If you would like this feature to work with stage 1 or stage 2, you must go into each of your vehicle's ELS and change the files and all that, which is funky. Be aware that doing this will initiate cars to pull over if you are attempting a traffic stop. as it does with stage 3 lighting by default. So if you have stage 3 lighting on and you have somebody pulled over, they will move around you, which they do anyways. But if you're in a spot where it's a short, narrow road or something, or you have somebody pulled over where there might be a car coming up behind you, that car is going to go around you and it's going to jump the curb, it's going to hit light poles, it's going to hit hydrants, and I don't know, it's going to mess you up, man. So I keep mine at false. You do however you want to do it. So there's the INI file. If you change anything, you're going to hit file and you're going to hit save. But if you forget to, if you hit X, see, mine says, do I want to make save changes, because I made some changes over here, but I'm just going to click don't save. You're going to click save if you change things and you forgot to save it before you exited. It'll always prompt to double check that you make sure if you want to save it or not. So I myself, I'm going to click don't save. Okay, so we have one last call out to install. I'm sorry, not call out. Plugin. Go ahead, go to your WinRAR, click that stop aiming at cops. And of course, let's go back to the main directory right here, where you got your elbow, ELS folders, plugins folders, and everything. And what we're going to do is we're going to hit the README, and it's going to tell you, here's a list of immunized PEDs. These are all the people that it will not aim at, okay? And it tells you how to install the path. Now, because this file, unlike the other ones that had that Grand Theft Auto folder and then the plugins folder in it, this one does not have one, okay? What you're going to do with this, as it says in the README, you're going to want to drop everything inside GTA 5 folder into your plugins LSPDFR. So what that means is you are going to highlight just these two bottom ones, okay? Go over here and double click your plugins. You are going to highlight these two bottom ones, and you're going to drag them over here. You can go right down here, you can go over here, as long as you don't go up here where it highlights. Remember, highlighting like this is bad. Don't drop anything in there like this unless you're told to. For now, just go down here into an empty spot and just drop it. I'm going to replace mine because, as you can see, I already have them in there. So we'll replace that, and there's no INI file for these. So that is it. You have 4 essential plugins installed into your game to add not just the realism of the game, but the accessibility and easiness for you as a role player, as an officer. So go ahead and exit out of that WinRAR, hit your refresh button, and you can go ahead and X out of your main directory. Okay, now we're going to jump into the game real quick, but before we do, I want to show you guys something real quick. Go ahead and click your Rage plugin hook shortcut, but when you do, hold your left shift key in, okay? As soon as you click it, hold your left shift key, and it's going to bring you up to, it should, there we go. It's going to bring you up to this page right here. Now I have my threshold at 60,000. The high that you can 60,000 is the highest you can go. As you can see, it'll tell you right here, it must be between 100 and 60,000. I think when you first start on, you're at 10,000 or whatever. The higher you go, the more time you're allowing your plugins to load up, the less likely you are to crash. If you've been noticing crashes, just, you know, beef this up by 5,000, you know, jump it up by 5,000. If you're at 10,000, put it to 15, try 20,000. Just know that you can't go over 60,000. I have a lot of plugins. So what you're going to want to do after installing those plugins, you're going to want to click your plugins tab right here. And as you can see, there's the automatic Siren cutout. There's keep the effing doors open. There's your sticky wheels. There's your stop aiming at cops. Now I have Spotlight, Vehicle Search. You're going to see your LSPDFR in there, my EUP, my Clear the Way. So what you're going to want to do is click Load All These Plugins, then click Check All. Now what that's going to do is that's going to put all of your plugins that are selected into Startup. So after you check all, you're going to go over here and load all plugins on Startup, and you're going to click Save and Launch. Okay? And all the new plugins that we just put in will now load into your game, and I will see you in the game. Alright everybody, so here we are in the game. So let's just go over these plugins super quick. The first one I'll show you the sticky wheels, okay? Like I said, let's say I just put this car here just for the sake of showing you. As you know, police officers will pull up behind a vehicle and they might turn their wheel to the right, to the left, depending on what side of the car they're going to go up to. For the most part, you usually see it tilted into the right. So they might pull up behind a vehicle, kind of slant their car to the left, but turn their wheel to the right. So if they get hit and they're standing at the driver's door of the pulled over vehicle, their cruiser is kind of gonna, it's less likely that they're gonna get in. It's not saying they're not gonna get injured, but less likely. Again, rarely are you ever hit rear-ended while playing the game. So this is more for aesthetics. It's more for the realism of it. Okay. Again, let's say you're at a scene and this guy, you got your sirens on, right? And this guy jumps out of his car and he starts running. You pull up, you stop. As soon as you get out of your car, your sirens are automatically going to shut off, and then you can go ahead and start chasing that perp. Your sirens are off. Now when you get back in your car, your sirens will remain off. So that's an awesome, awesome feature, man. When I stumbled upon this plugin, man, I loved it. And now they keep the effing door open. Okay. Now if you're on a regular stop, you got them lit up, your stage 3 lighting. Okay. If you tap your Y button or your exit button on the keyboard, if you just tap it, what you're gonna do if you're gonna walk, it's a normal stop. You're just going to tap it. He's going to shut the door. You go ahead and you walk up to him and you do your thing. Now, let's say this is a stolen vehicle or somebody with a warrant. You call in code 5 backup. Now, you want to get out of your car and have that shield. Before, what did you have to do? You used to have to open your door. It would shut, and then you'd have to open your door again and kind of do that. That takes long. By then, you could already be getting shot at, whatever. Now, if you want to do that, if you want to use your door as a shield, you just hold in your Y button. Boom. Look at that. Guns drawn. I got my shield up. I'm not sitting there finagling with it, okay? Awesome. Must-have plugin, in my opinion. So there's that one. And then the final one, I might not be able to show you. I don't know if there's any police officers walking around or not, but... yeah, there's not many cops here. There's one there, but
you slime ball.
Yeah, see, he's not a staged cop on a call, so just know it works. Okay, trust me, it works. If you're on a call and you're chasing somebody you want to aim, it's not going to aim at the cops or anybody anymore like it used to, and you'll be golden. You'll be good to go. So we went over the keep the effing doors open, the sticky wheels, and the automatic siren cutout. Wish I could have showed you the stop aiming at cops, but we would have to go and get on a call where we're chasing somebody, and I don't want to take up any more of your time. So with that being said, I hope these tutorials are helping you guys out. I hope you enjoy these plugins. I know I did, and I still do. And if there's anything else you want to know how to put in, or how to do, man, just let me know. Join. Click the link below that takes you to LSPDFR Plus, my Facebook page. And make sure you click the LSPDFR Plus, okay? And then you can quick message me through there, or you can put comments down in the description below and let me know what you would like to see. If you have any issues, let me know. I will do my best to help you out. And if I can't, I will always point you in the right direction of somebody who can help you out. With that being said, if you're new here, you like what you see, it helped you, support my channel by clicking that like button. Hit that subscribe and ring that bell, man. It would mean the world to me, and it would just allow me to, you know, give you more beautiful tutorials like this one. With that being said, stay safe, everybody. Stay healthy. Follow the rules. Obey the law. Until next time, Jeffrey Gamer is